Alright, guys. Yeah. Interior mods to the StarCraft. Um, I mean, you can see the bird that's been in here. It's been in here for a couple years now. It's a Helix 7. Obviously, I got it for fishing, but it's also got the mapping software where you can just contour map as you go. Like, it's a pretty cool feature, you know. But then, obviously, just to get depth off of it. But you know how these things are. You don't get a depth reading until you're at idle speed. It doesn't do you any good at speed. So that's what this little Hawkeye is for. I'm pretty sure there's a way to use a splitter with a hummingbird like this and run two different transducers and actually, have this thing keep reading. But they couldn't. Hummingbird was not giving me a definitive answer. I'm like, do you have a transducer that will read at even 40, 50, 60 miles an hour? And they're like, yeah, you could try this one. It would maybe be more likely to, like all this kind of shit. So I end up just buying a whole separate unit. And this Hawkeye thing will read depth up to 60 miles an hour. It's really nice. It's like the most important gauge in the boat now. Like, I'm just constantly watching it, It's really cool to have depth information coming into the boat, like just as you're going down the river. You can kind of get a general idea of the depth of, the sort of the general depth of all these rivers that you're running in. You know, where I never had that information before. It was just like, you can run up this stretch of river, but don't go over here and watch out for this log. And, now it's like I just know how deep it is all the time. It's really awesome. So the transducer for this Hawkeye, I keep messing with. There's all kinds of adjustments. So you can go up and down, and they give you some wedges so you can angle it. It wants to cut out at idle speed, which has been fine because then the hummingbird, picks up the tab. But I think it's maybe too close to the drive. I got it right next to the drive, and maybe it's distorting it one way or another. But otherwise, it's pretty good most of the time. But every here and there, it's still when you're at speed, it just cuts out for a second, or even for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, it'll cut out and then come back in. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get rid of that. It's kind of annoying because it's always like I'm running through this little side channel. I'm like, man, I always wondered how deep this was. And as soon as you get into the thing cuts out. It's like, well, come on, man. It's kind of annoying, but most of the time, 75-80% of the time, it works awesome. And it may just be I just got to keep pissing around with moving the transducer, and maybe I'll get a good happy spot with it. But I put this ship to shore radio in here, partially so I can just kind of chat with my buddies. I was going down the river. I got some buddies with fiberglass jet boats that they don't follow me up to any of the skinny rivers, but I on a Friday or Saturday or something, I'll go and do a river cruise, like a big river. I don't know, Saginaw River right around here. I don't know if any guys are familiar with mid-Michigan, but Saginaw is huge. Like you can run a freaking oil tanker up it. So we just we just cruise all the way up and down the river and just enjoy being in the boat. not this crazy river running stuff. I already did that with fiberglass boat, and I almost destroyed it and sank it. So we're not doing that anymore. But the other reason I got it obviously is there's an SOS. There's a distress function. So if I really do something stupid, I can, I got that as an option. Say if I lost my phone or whatever else. But And it's kind of cool to just turn that thing on too in these higher traffic, you know, sections of river, and just listen to people chit chatting on them. I don't know, man. I'm getting to be an old man, but so yeah, I don't know if I was talking in the last video. I changed the tack and the speedo. The speedo was 200 miles an hour, so like even the top speed of this thing, like 50 miles an hour. It was like way the hell over. I was barely using the speedo at all. So yeah, 80 mile an hour tack now, or speedo, and I had an 8,000 RPM tack, and I went down to a 7,000. So I'm using a little more of the tack too. This thing's reading hours again. The last tack was reading 130 some hours when I pulled it out. So, and we got another 10, 15 hours on it now. So it's got 140, 50 hours on it now total. And this, for some reason, the old speedo was never clocking miles, but this thing is actually clocking miles we put on the boat. And it's just, I've never done that. I've never had it anything clocking miles on a boat, and it's pretty shocking how many miles we cover, you know, in a day's time, running all over, up and down 3-4 rivers, and you know, it's crazy. It just seems like you went 10, 15 miles. Well, this thing's reading 60, 70 miles we went in a day. I mean, we don't sit around. A lot of people just put in and go over to the sandbar and hang out all day, but we're driving our boats all day long, so I don't know. So, and then over here, I had to put this big freaking ugly thing, the stereo. I didn't really want to have this thing even visible. I was thinking about hiding it underneath or something, but I just finally said to hell with it and just put it up here. The first one I got was having all kinds of problems. It was junk, so I returned it and got this one. This one's been pretty good. It's not having the connectivity issues that I was having with the other one. And then I just wired all the amplifiers to this switch, stereo switch. So there, let me, so there's the 2 amps. This one's 2400 watt for the speakers, and then that's a, I don't know, 800 watt or something for the subwoofer. So I just got a couple 6x9s I put up here, and then back here, there's a sub, 12-inch low profile sub. So this you can't do much with the sub. It's got a, so there's a little remote bass controller here that right going to that, and this is just a USB, you know, connection into the back of the radio. I can't do much with the sub at all. It's kind of rattling the whole boat. It's a big tin, you know, aluminum boat. So yeah, and this, so this little seat, I don't know if I even have any videos of us since we put this seat in here. There's still no cushions on it, because it's probably all going to get redone. We really thrashed this thing together one day because I was going to have a bunch of people in my boat over the weekend, and it never had, you know, anything. And so me and my friend just kind of thrashed this thing together, and we didn't put fiberglass resin on any of the wood, you know, like we did with everything else in here, the floor and all the, we just frickin' cut the whole thing and then wrapped it in carpet and anchored, screwed it in here. And it's, and I mean, it'll probably be fine for a long time, but it's just, we made it all out of like 1/2-inch plywood, nothing substantial at all. And subwoofer is rattling the whole thing. Like, you can see all the brackets I had in there to try and sort of stiffen it up some, but it's rattling this entire thing. So we might just use this seat as a template and, make a new one, but make it all out of, like 3/4 inch. Just make it beefy as hell so the sub isn't rattling the seat so much. But then, like I said, like even once we can get all the kind of rattles out of the seat, which I got a lot of them out, it's really not terrible. But after that, it's going to be the skin of the boat, man. The I don't know, the gunnels are the whole the sub rattle. It vibrates the entire gunnels. Like you're gonna have to kill Matt or something all the way on the which I was planning on doing that in here eventually anyway, just to dampen maybe the engine noise a little bit more. But yeah, you're gonna have to get in here with something and dampen all these panels. But otherwise it's not bad, and like it's fine for now. I had this crap all installed. I had the amps in there and I had the sub installed, but I had no radio. I had no stereo head, and it was sitting in here or installed in here for 1.5 years. And finally, I've got tired of it. I'm like, all right, we're just gonna drill a hole in the frickin' dash, and we're gonna make it work. And it's nice. I got tunes. I'm just super super picky, and I won't even listen to my music if it doesn't have some kind of bass. Like these people that can like take those little tiny Bluetooth speakers and listen to their music, I can't. I won't listen to my music. Like I gotta feel the the music, or I'm just not gonna listen to it. So, and it's pretty good. I mean, you can imagine 2,400 watt through these 6x9s. It's pretty loud. So it's really cool. I've had some real chintzy, crappy little radios in boats before. I've never had anything like this, and it's nice. So it pretty well covers us on the dashboard here. Like these phone holders, I've gone through a couple. I don't like this one. I like the last one I had on it better, I think. It's just not, you can't, it's kind of loud, and your phone always just kind of ends up on the floor and slides over to some corner somewhere. So it's just for, and on unfamiliar stretches of river, it's nice too having this running with just maps, Google Maps. That thing the Humminbird has got kind of mapping software, but it's not satellite. So it's kind of cool to have a satellite map here too. So I just set it up in there, but the wife calls and you're out on the boat and you don't answer, like she freaks the hell out. Like it's sunk and everyone is dead in the boat. Like she loses her shit. So I gotta know when the wife calls. So I need to have it sitting right here with the phone aiming right at me, because chances are I accidentally turned off my volume or God knows what. I hate these freaking things. But this is probably I think this is the third rear view mirror I've put on here. It's just these suction cup ones. Like they don't come off, man. It's not just a suction cup. Like it's got adhesive on it too. Like you stick these things on and they do not move. I have one in the gray truck over there, the old dually. It's had one in it forever because I kept putting the damn glue-on ones on it, and that truck rides so rough. You hit a pothole and the thing's in your lap again. I got tired of it. Some people, some people have better luck with getting them things to stick on their windows. I don't anymore. I keep trying that shit. I do all the, the little 3M adhesive, and I use the little swab on the window and clean it real good, and they still don't stick. So I'm doing all these suction cup mirrors now. The green Jeep over there, the damn mirror, when we were at the sand dunes, the mirror fell off. So I got another one coming for that. But at first I had a real small, like automotive, like, the size of a car mirror, and it just, you couldn't really see shit out of it. So then I went and got this big convex one. The convex ones are no good because it skews your depth. You don't even see a boat behind you because it's so small on the mirror that you don't even hardly notice it until it's right on top of you. So finally ended up with this one. It's just really big. It's flat, but it's just really big, and this thing is perfect. These real small rivers, like I'm going real slow because I'm trying not to run over a kayaker. And so you got these hot rodders with these, outboard jets or these mud motors, and they just want to blow by you. And like, if you don't have some kind of mirror, man, you have no idea until they're right next to you, because you can't hear them. You can't, you got to have a mirror. In my opinion, it's just not. It isn't safe out there without knowing who the hell is driving right up on your ass. So I got 2 little fog lights mounted out there. Last year I got caught out in a real nasty rainstorm. It sucked. Luckily I had the canvas on, but it was filling up with water. I had to sit here and hold the middle of it up because it was pouring. Could not even see right in front of the boat, and I got a spotlight or whatever stored in here, and it was useless. But it was dark and it was really bad. I said I was going to install some kind of lights up on the front of the thing. I don't know how much they're really going to do, but I don't have them wired yet. I got the wires just hanging up there, and I got 3 more switches left. You got the blower, nav lights, and the stereo over there. So I got a transom light to go on the back of it too, and I don't know. Eventually, one of these is going to be like a pump out. Like the boat is swamped and you got a oh shit big ass pump. I don't have that installed yet. I got a big fitting on the transom to attach it to, but I don't have it installed yet. And these 2 pumps, they do a really good job. I mean, one of them, it doesn't leak terrible, but the one in the very back pretty well keeps the thing. They're both on float switches back there, so. But I'm if I tear a giant hole in the freaking bottom of the boat, like maybe with those 2 and another, like 4,000 gallon per hour, just monstrosity of a pump. Maybe you could keep the boat. The gunnels are pretty tall, so this thing would kind of stay up even if it was really swamped. So I got these little foam guys for, when you're tying up these other boats. This is a little tiny boat, so I never anchor up. I wait for my buddy's big fiberglass boats to anchor up, and then I just go tie up to them. So you got these real nice cushions. There's a couple telescoping oars down in here. We've had to use them a couple times. You get caught into a big old, bog of weeds, and you got to row your way out of there. But this pole I found myself using like constantly, pushing myself off the shore, just using it for all kinds of stuff. So, and it was always just laying in here on the floor. So I found these little clips that hold it real well, and I just put it right up here, like where it's super easy, super quick to get to. The thing extends out to like 3 times its length. It's freaking huge. So what else we got? I got a couple of cool little rod holders back here I added to it. We've been using the hell out of them. We just, through no wake sounds, you throw a rod in it with a little worm on it. You never know what you're going to get. But in here, nothing much has changed in here at all, except for the fuel pressure regulator. This is the 3rd one. I don't know if you guys remember, the very first one was a Corvette regulator, and that was garbage right out of the gate. It couldn't even keep up with the pump. It was running like 85 psi. So I changed it out to a little more economical air motive, and that thing didn't last. I think it was 2 outings, and that one grenaded to where it had no pressure. And to get us out of that situation, I had a little clamp in there, and I screwed a worm gear clamp on this return hose, and I just kept crushing it until I started getting fuel pressure. I don't know. I think I got it up to 50 psi, and I'm like, it's probably good. It'll run. And we got back, but then I never did anything with it. I ran it the whole rest of that season into the next season with the hose clamp on there. And it's still working totally fine. Like I was, I don't know. I'm stubborn sometimes, and it's just like I just put that on there. It's staying on there. So yeah, finally this season, I got this. I've had this regulator sitting around forever, and I just needed to get in here and install it. It's like twice the size of the last one. It's freaking huge. So I don't know. Maybe that means it's going to hold up better. It's been working really good so far. So. The bilge pumps, right out of the gate, I put these Johnson pumps in there. You know, they're real high dollar name brand pumps, you know, because I wanted quality pumps. But those things were pieces of shit. They're rated at 1,000 gallons per hour. They maybe put out like 300 or 400 gallons per hour tops. So this is the second set. These, as you can see, had a bigger outlet than the hoses I was running. So I just, you know, put a stupid little hose adapter in there, and I just neck them down. It's like 1.125 and then my hoses are 3/4. So it just makes it throw water further at the other end is all it does. So these, they've only been in the boat for, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 outings. And I don't know, they work really good. They work a lot better. They move a lot more water than the stupid Johnson pumps, and they're rated at 1,100 gallon per hour. So back here, I made a video about this a long time ago, and then never any kind of follow up. So I just got this thing back installed in here. It's the well filter. It's just made for, you know, your well going into your house. So this thing works freaking amazing. Okay, so I ran this boat not a lot of time with this not in here, not even in here at all last season. Why did I take it out? I had to change fittings and stuff up on it. And for whatever reason, I didn't just reinstall it and put it back in. I ran the boat without it. And I paid for it because it plugged up my fuel cooler. The fuel cooler dumps out. Oh, where is it? Right there. Pisses out the side. The Volvo fuel pump. So I had to have that pissing out the side so I can keep an eye on it. And it plugged up. It didn't take very much time either. And you couldn't blow it out either. I had to take that whole damn module apart and get all the sand out of it. So this needs to be in here, or either that, or, you know, don't go up any of these rivers where you're going to be chugging through sand and shit. So, the problem with the thing, I don't know why this never occurred to me before, is it would plug up. You know, it would be fine for a long time. And I had a valve down there that I would just go down there, and while it was running, I would open it, and it would kind of flush out what was in there. But if you ran, like, you bottomed the boat out, like you're pulling up to a sandbar or something, and drug the back of the boat for even a little bit with it running, it would fill this thing right to the top, and then it wouldn't flush out. You had to take it apart, unscrew it in order to get it cleaned out. So when I just got this installed again, I got rid of the valve down there, and it's just plumbed directly into that hose. And then I came back here, and you guys remember this. I get this old manifold where I just brought all my overboards all to one spot. This is a steam line for the motor. This is the pressure relief valve dump. This here is, I just put this valve out here. This is the dump for that sand trap. So I got to take the handle off. I don't need to have the handle on there, but it's way more convenient having the valve up here versus way down there in that hole. So I don't give a shit what this looks like. I'm just, you know, people look at this and it's like, what the hell is going on back here? I don't care what it looks like. I want them all out here and I want them aimed up so I know what the hell is going on with all of these. So I need to just get rid of the handle and leave the valve here. I leave it cracked a little bit and it works perfect. It just keeps it cleaned out. And I've had it where I did run up and drag the boat and filled that thing up halfway. And I thought, oh, it's screwed now. It's not going to, there's too much in it. It's not going to clean itself out. No, it does. Gradually, over time, it eventually empties out the contents of that out here. I just cracked it, so it's just dumping a little bit of extra water. Like, it doesn't need all that water that it's getting out of the pump. So I don't know, it works really well now. It just keeps the shit out of the engine and most importantly the fuel module, and now it just slowly cleans itself out too, so I don't have to do anything with it. It's really slick. So these are the two bilge pumps, the front and the back one, and then like I said, this is a big fitting that I was going to rig up onto a big pump. So there's the second bilge pump down there. This is the one that does all the work. This, you know, being all the way here in the back, like this one, if the other one is running, like, you got problems. There's something going on. It should not, the front one should never run. So so yeah, and I've had it where I've only had it once or twice where I turn around and both of them are running. And the one time I forgot to reconnect a hose after winter. And I just took off running and it just filled the damn boat right now. So it didn't take very long at all. So I think that's just about it, man. I forgot to mention this lanyard, you know, with the disconnect. I had that right here, and you'd bounce your knee off it. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. It is just every now and then I'd be just going around a corner or something on a river, and then it would just for a split second it would bog. Like, what the hell is that? It was kind of scaring me. Like, what the hell kind of gremlin do I got in this boat? What the hell did I do? It ended up just me. I was bumping my knee on that damn thing because it's right there, and you only got to just flick that thing slightly and it loses power. So I got it moved up in over there too. And then the other thing, this little knob controls the PWM behind here for the trim motor, and you can't accidentally brush your knee on the knob either and turn it down to like 10% and then go, what the hell, a trim motor, my window regulator motor burned up. It ain't got enough power to even move it. Yeah, no shit, dude. Like, look at the display. I must have brushed the knob again, and then I don't know, I hadn't driven it, you know, we got it out from wintertime, and I figured the window regulator failed. No, it didn't fail. It still works perfectly fine. The only thing I'd like to do is, you see where the cable attaches way up there? I'd like to move it down, actually. It would make the trim kind of actuate a little slower, but it would be easier on that regulator. The regulator works really hard to run that thing, the way it's set up right now. So I'd rather the trim go a little slower and make it a little easier on that motor. But it has been good this entire time since, you know, past whatever 3-4 years. It still works really good. So yeah, I think that's it, guys. The seats were like the cheapest seats I could possibly get, but I mean, the posts and the bases and everything were all not cheap at all. It was very expensive, but the seats themselves are junk. I've already broke the back this back panel I broke on one seat, and it was plastic, so luckily you can get in there. See how it's Velcro down there? I was able to slide in 3/4 inch pieces of plywood in there and replace it. But now I broke the base of this one. The last time we had it out, all of a sudden this seat felt like it was gonna fall right off of the. So now I gotta try and fix the base of these things, because I do like the seats. I don't know, they're surprisingly actually pretty comfortable in here. So yeah, that's it, guys. I think I'm gonna catch you on the next video. I got something really, really exciting to show you guys. It's gonna be the next boat in the fleet of river boats, because I've decided I got so much gratification from this project. This has been like the most rewarding thing that I have ever put together, period. I get more enjoyment out of this thing than anything I've put together. Jeeps, trucks, side by sides, none of it even remotely compares to this, what I've gotten out of this boat. So I want to keep building them. I don't really want to stop either. I want to just keep building them until I have a whole bunch of them. I got a whole bunch of friends. I'm not going to have a problem putting people in seats and driving boats. And it's only going to be safer because I'm going out doing these kind of rowdy, really high current rivers, and I'm doing it by myself in one boat. It's really stupid. I need at least one more boat, a support boat, in case something happens to me. I'm handicapped, it's something, the boat's sinking or whatever else. Like, it'd just be nice to have somebody right there to pick me up. So like I said, I'm gonna keep building them. And in terms of the hull, I'm being a lot more particular on the hull this time. This thing was so much work that I really don't want to, I want the following boats to perform even better than this one. So I'm being real particular on the hulls that I'm looking at. And the one that was absolutely at the top of my list, the perfect hull, in my opinion, to do another jet, I found. Everyone that I saw was $10,000-$15,000, because they have a 150 horse Mariner on the back of it, and they're all decked out with depth sounders and a trolling motor and everything else. So I just thought I would never, unless I just got stupid lucky. Well, I got stupid lucky. I found one with a broken transom and no motor. And wait till you guys see this boat. It is freaking awesome. It's very similar to the StarCraft, so similar that I know I know now because of this boat that it's gonna function extremely well, but it's just a little wider, it's a little longer. It's just the design of the hull is a lot better than this boat. So yeah, next video I'll show you guys this thing. It's a freaking awesome looking boat, man. Thanks for watching, guys.